Zelensky is a well-known word in today's world. Some might know him because of his brave and inspiring speeches. Some might know him as a leader of a country that defends Europe from an aggressive state on its border. Some might know him as a beggar taking money from poor burger-eating Americans for Ukraine. A leech who, when arrives at meetings and gives speeches, says 9 hours in a row, give everything to me. I need to pay for my yacht in Antarctica, weigh them on my stuff and share them with my brothers in the presidential office. All jokes aside, what can I say with confidence? He's a representative of a country at war with a much stronger state. I'm not sure what people abroad think about him, but I see what's being charted out about him in Ukrainian minds nowadays. If at the beginning of the full-scale invasion and sometime after, Zelensky had an unbelievably strong reputation and inspiring charisma, today he's messing up almost everything, from the stupid reforms he and his puppets implement to the made-up issues he has nothing to do with. The condition of Ukraine and the problems inside it, which I explained in my very first video, recommend to watch it to dive as deep as possible, are bothering its citizens. And who's to blame? Of course, Zelensky. I'm not gonna be a referee and tell you who's the bad or good guy and for what, splitting and fishing in an atom. Just general, not detailed information, so I can manipulate army and communicate with you easier. The machine of propaganda works. The useless spending of money on the United Man, watch my previous video, which even doesn't work. Otherwise, I will be yelling victory soon. Zeddy Boba, I love you. Ukraine is Europe. Moreover, there are people who brutally paid by government to force ideas that government wants to be forced. These state puppets support their feeder in everything because the state pays them and provides all kinds of protection, including exemption from the conscription. So they suck up to the government and flatter it. Most of these morons are the standard type of selfish and disgusting people sponsored by big guys behind their backs who know how to manipulate the crowd. At the same time, some state puppets have betrayed the system and started to criticize it, who have nothing better than the current state. All these puppets say shit like, oh, Zelensky is bad, how could you let this awful method of mobilization exist? Zelensky is bad, he's giving up our territory every day. I know a better way to run this country, not like Zelensky. If we have elections in 2025 and some of these morons win them, we are fucking doomed. We are already doomed, but if that happens, we fucking double doomed. Our political system seems to have no real patriots. Top TV channels are privatized, owned by huge oligarchs who don't give a shit about us. Our every political party is controlled by someone. OPFL is pro-Russian and pro-Zelensky. That's another story. Servant of the People is controlled, understandably, by Zelensky and his friends. European Solidarity by Poroshenko. Fatherland by a witch Timoshenko. Delete her from our political system, please. It's just a circus. We had no parliament elections in 2023 and no presidential elections in March 2024. Why? Well, because of the war, and we don't, they will be in power until they die of old age or what? They just don't want to lose their rank, especially Zelensky. Why? Why doesn't he want to lose his rank? Because that would mean admitting that Zelensky is a fucking moron who messed everything up, who started the war, who caused an awful lot of people to die, who couldn't handle this situation, and who made this country even worse. He actually cannot afford that. It's like, I messed up, and in the same way, I'm about to fix it. To save himself, he's supposed to implement something vital to get an excuse to slide over these slaughters. Either Russia loses the war, including economically, and Zelensky is just wasting some time, or he really hopes Ukraine will join NATO or will be given real safety guarantees. That's Zelensky's dilemma, and not only his. You cannot let the elections happen, and you cannot convince people they don't live in a quasi-totalitarian state. You cannot afford to lose the war so shamefully. You have to clear your name, to redeem your reputation. And at the same time, the longer you're in power, the greater the negative mood grows in Ukrainians' minds. Thus, they would easily vote for whatever populist promises to end the war tomorrow and imprison Zelensky because of his regime. Oh my god.